Thank you, Presiding Officer. I'm also grateful to Emma Harper for bringing forward the motion and giving us the opportunity to come together to mark World Cancer Day. I know that the motion talks about the unity band, and I think we actually have seen the Parliament unite this evening, because we are all touched by cancer, and we've heard a mixture of sad stories of people who have lost loved ones, but also hopeful stories like Emma Harper's sister Buffy, Alison Johnston's mum, who hopefully is doing well, and I know that my own mum, who's had her own cancer journey recently, and is going back to work tomorrow after an operation a few months ago. So often people think that politicians are out of touch and we don't understand the issue, but I think we could have all taken part tonight without any briefings. But of course we are all grateful to Macmillan and Cancer Research UK and Breast Cancer Now for their very helpful briefings, and of course for the brilliant jobs that they do supporting families affected by cancer, and for their tireless campaigning and fundraising. And like others, I want to pay tribute and say again a personal thank you to our wonderful NHS staff who support people and their families through this difficult illness. I know that in the last 2 years that my family certainly had our money's worth out of the NHS, and probably a bit more. The word cancer used to be a really taboo subject, and it carried a lot of stigma, and families didn't talk about it, and I'm glad that that is changing. We also know that survival rates are improving, and we've seen positive campaigns to help break the stigma, such as Breast Cancer Now's Wear It Pink campaign, which has a lot of fun, and George Trust's work encouraging women to go for smear tests. And I was grateful to colleagues who took part in my members' debate last month to mark Cervical Cancer Awareness Week. Groundbreaking cancer research wouldn't be possible without the incredible fundraising efforts of people in our communities. I see it in my own region, and even just last week I picked up the local paper, the Hamilton Advertiser, and the Hamilton Bowling Club ladies section had raised £3,000 for Cancer Research UK. So that generosity happens day in, day out. Others have talked about the third sector and volunteering, and I was pleased to hear Miles Briggs mention transport. I know in my own mum's situation, the Lanarkshire Cancer Care Trust was invaluable to her. She didn't want to be relying on family to fit in with her appointments, but she was able to make a donation to the volunteer group. But she started to affectionately call it the cancer bus, because the other people on the bus had the same experiences or could understand what she was going through, and the driver was an expert in terms of getting through the traffic and getting to the right department, because she was going to the Beats and she was going to Hare Myers and other places. So again, even when you do have a family to come home to, as Neil Findlay was touching on, quite often it's not your family you want to open up to. So I know for my mum that was a really important experience. In Lanarkshire, again, trying to remain positive, I'm pleased that recent stats show that the majority of patients have been treated within treatment time standards, but we know in terms of diagnostics that's not the experience nationally. So perhaps when the Minister is closing, he can give the Chamber a bit of an update. I know, again, the cross-party group on cancer has been doing some really good work here, so I think we all want to keep improving and support each other. Others have touched on the fact that there's a lot we can do to prevent cancer, and I think we really have to focus on that. But again, we have to make sure that when we have strategies and policies, that we have to make sure that it's realistic and it's easy for people to make sometimes the lifestyle changes and look at the barriers people face in order to make the right choices, the healthier choices. We've seen a great amount of progress. We know in this Parliament we can do tremendous things like the smoking ban. My own gran, who I loved very much and missed dearly after 16 years, was a heavy smoker, but she was a barmaid and she worked in smoke-filled working men's clubs and pubs, and she died of lung cancer. I remember every day through my daughter, who's now called after her, Isabella, but these are the kind of things that hopefully we're going to see less of, and I thank everyone for their contributions.